Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, Kiowa, and Sugaree peoples. My name is Cosette Blackmer. My pronouns are she, her. I am serving this morning as worship assistant for the Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives bold and acts justly. To all our visitors and members, we are glad that you are here in person or visiting with us online, and we hope to see you all again. Your presence is truly a gift to us. We have a few announcements this Sunday. Please join us today after today's service for a service project with Compassionate Closet, we will sort clothes and have a sandwich lunch available for a small donation. Piedmont Progressive Preschool is having a fundraiser this Saturday, and all of us are invited to attend. Please see the weekly announcements for more information. Next Sunday is Remembrance Sunday. Already, can you believe that? If you have a loved one who has passed and you would like to remember them, please bring a memento to share at our table that will be up front. We will have a Samhain service to celebrate the ancestors next week next Sunday at 2 p.m. here at the University Gathering. For other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of a service, or if you are on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
Hear now these words from Reverend Michelle Collins. As we light this chalice, with its freely shared light and freely shared warmth, let us be reminded of the many things that are freely shared with us and that we freely share with others. May we lean into generosity shared from the heart that can warm those around us. Please join me now in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you now to please stand as you are willing or able for our call to worship found in your bulletin. We gather in a spirit of generosity today and every day.
We share our lives, our hearts, our ideas, our whole selves. We share all that we are, so that together we are greater than the sum of our parts.
All are welcome. All are valued. By sharing, we do not become less. We are not sacrificial objects for the sake of the whole.
With generosity, we create and embody more love, more justice, more peace, more hope.
We gather with thankful hearts for all who have been generous with us.
We gather with thankful hearts, with the opportunity to live with generosity. May it be so.
Our opening hymn is found in our great hymnal, number 126, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. Please be seated. I now invite any children who would like to come join me up front for our time for all ages.
Thank you.
Well, it's good to see you today, especially Claire and Wiley. Very happy to see y'all. How are y'all doing today? Good. You excited about anything going to happen this week?
I'm excited for Halloween because I love going to the TL and I love to eat candy like it's just something that I can eat.
You like to eat candy. I think there's many of us here who agree with that. Wiley, you excited for this week? Halloween, yeah. Did y'all have your costumes picked out?
Oh yes, so I'm gonna dress up as Lady Rose from Miraculous Ladybug.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Do you know your costume yet?
I'm gonna be
Ken from the Barbie movie. Okay. Wow. Y'all both have great costumes. Thank you for sharing that with me. Well, I want to tell a story, okay? Can we tell? Okay. I want to tell this story, and it comes from this place called Cameroon, which is in Africa. And this is an old story people have told for many, many years. And it's about a grandfather having a birthday. And grandfather wasn't just necessarily like a legal grandfather. You know, we might have grandfathers. It was someone, an older man who many people in the community loved. And so they called him grandfather. And people didn't know what to bring. So all these people from the community, they loved him, and they didn't know what to bring. And they thought, you know, why do we give this man? And then what will be something that will be special for him? And then people in the neighborhood started talking, and they said, you know, what grandfather likes better than anything is to sit in the chair and drink tea with honey. Do y'all like tea with honey? No. That may be like an older trait that people, yeah, when they get older. So I'm definitely a tea with honey person, so myself. And so honey, everyone started to think, that is it. Grandfather has a really big crock, kind of like a big pot. Do y'all know what like a crock is? Like if you ever looked at any of the Winnie Pooh stories, he always had a crock of honey. And they thought, you know, all of us can bring a little bit of honey that we will put into that crock. So after his birthday, he'll have just a big, big pot filled to the brim with honey. Now, Jane was going to the party, and she didn't really have any honey, and she didn't have a lot of money. So what do you think she decided to do? Yes.
I think that she went to a honey farm and she got honey from bees.
You know, that is an excellent idea, going and collecting some of her own honey. Well, she didn't do that, so...
She found a beehive in the forest and found some way to get the bees out to get the honey.
Another excellent idea, just a natural bee forest. Y'all are having a lot more together than poor little Jane did. Jane, she thought, you know what, everyone's bringing some honey, and, you know, we're all going to add it in together. I'm going to get a little bit of water in this jar, and I'll put a little bit of food color in there so it kind of looks like honey. Because she thought, you know, it's just one little bit in this whole big jar, so no one's going to really notice. And so the day the party came, and everyone is there, and they're all pouring their little jars into the crock to have a big, big pot of honey. And then it was time to give it to grandfather. And he said, what's this? He says, could this be honey? This is wonderful. So he dipped a spoon into the crock of honey and took a sample. And then he looked a little confused. And he said, you know, it's a really pretty color, but it tastes like water. So Jane got real embarrassed. What happens when y'all get embarrassed? What happens to you?
So our face starts getting red and we start to sweat.
Mm-hmm. We can start to sweat, face gets red.
You might get a little bit scared and you might run out of the room or something.
Yeah, some people would get really scared, might run out of the room. Yeah. So Jane was sitting there, and her face was red, and she was starting to sweat, and she was thinking about maybe she might take off too. But then she looked around, and she noticed that everyone was having the same reaction she did. What do you think had happened?
They all might have did the same thing.
Absolutely. They all had the same idea. So that big crock was just a bunch of water with some food coloring. Now, grandfather, being a very kind old man that everyone in the town loved, he laughed and he said, well, I've got another birthday coming next year. So next year, he had a fantastic big pot, a crock of honey. So what do you think are some things that this story might teach us and help us learn?
That you should be honest and you never should trick people.
Mm-hmm. It's always a good thing to be honest. Yes. Yes, honesty.
Maybe, I want to go far because
You can repeat, yeah.
how, you should always just go with honest, you should always just be honest of what you did.
Absolutely.
Honesty just fix it.
Yeah, because you know what? All of us make mistakes, right? All of us do things that think, that wasn't the best idea. We just need to be honest and then try to make it better and fix it. Yeah, you fell over. So now there's something else too I think we can think about is what are the best kind of gifts too? What are the best kind of gifts we can give other people?
The best kind of gifts we can give other people is honesty and kindness and niceness.
Honesty, kindness, and niceness. Absolutely, Claire. Very good.
Like caring and like hoping like things turn out good for the other person and for yourself.
Yeah, hoping and caring and wanting the best for someone else. That's great, Wally. So, yes,
I
Claire.
have one more thing.
Okay.
Gift.
Air?
Yeah.
Well, air is a very good thing, and we can certainly help make air quality better in lots of ways in this world today. So, and one thing that's important is when we're going to give to people, and we're going to be generous, to give from our heart, right? To give from our heart. Now, I remember when my kids were about your age, sometimes they didn't have money to go out and buy me a gift, and that was fine. I didn't want one, but they might make me a card or maybe write a poem or offer to do things around the house for me. And you know, I've kept all those cards, some of them like 20 years, because they showed they loved me and they gave me a gift from the heart. So, while this story about grandfather and the big pot of honey is funny, I think it's something important for us to remember. It's important for us to remember that we always want to give from the heart and be honest and kind to others. So, well, thank y'all for being here and sharing with me, and I appreciate everything you've had to say. So, y'all have a good rest of your morning. At this point, we have come to our time for ritual and sacred sharing, where we share joys and sorrows, concerns, and milestones. So for this week, there are candles we light for members of our community. As many of us know, Gail H. had surgery on Friday to remove a cancer spot. It went well. They believe they got everything. She is still in the hospital at Carolina's Medical, probably be there for a couple more days. And she and Mel really appreciate everyone's support. Henry, who had shoulder surgery last week, is doing very well from that. And he and his mom, Holly, appreciate the support of the church as well. We light a candle for Teresa as we continue to remember her with the passing of her mother, Bernie. For Tanya, who will have knee replacement surgery on Wednesday. And Little Feather, who a number of you have met, has been visiting in recent weeks, is having some back challenges and is going to have surgery in November as well. We light a candle for just so many people who are impacted by gun violence, and especially with the mass shooting in Maine this past week, and for everyone impacted by that and who've lost loved ones in such a terrible way. We light a candle for everyone who has been impacted by the hurricane in Acapulco and that surrounding areas. For the ongoing struggle for civil rights in Iran. For areas of violence around the world, and especially the war in Ukraine. and for all who are suffering in Israel and Palestine. And we light a candle that a just peace can emerge out of this war and violence. Now at this time, you are invited to come forward and fill out a prayer card and place it on our prayer wall. You may light a candle of your own joy or concern, or you may place a stone in our shared water. We light a few more candles at this time for the things we hold in our hearts which remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. I now invite us to a time of quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. We will follow the sound of the singing bowl into the silence, and then after a period of silence, Anne will lead us with our musical meditation. Now, during this time of silence, I invite you to, if you would like to do so, to breathe in and out the phrase, I am generosity. I am generosity.
Our wisdom reading this morning is Generous with Their Attention, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, by Oscar Aluk Ice. Generosity of spirit is a rare treasure indeed, and those who possess it are truly blessed indeed. For they give their time and their attention with kindness and care without any mention. Their eyes are focused, their ears attuned to the stories and the struggles of others, never immune to the needs and wants of those they meet. Generosity of attention, their heartbeats. They listen with intent, not just to reply, but to truly understand without any lie. They hold the space for others to share. Without judgment or bias, they show they care. Generosity of attention, a true gift. A listening ear can provide an emotional lift. To those who feel unseen or unheard, generous listeners provide a soothing word. Their hearts are open, their minds engaged. With empathy and compassion, they are enraged at the injustices, the pain, and the strife. Generosity of attention can change a life. For those who give their attention so freely are the ones who inspire us to see the beauty and worth of each human being. Generosity of attention, forever freeing. So let us be generous with our attention and listen with care, without apprehension. For doing so, we can make all the difference.
Thank you, Cosette. So during this month, we have focused on the theme of generosity. Now, a major factor for this has been because we have been in our Generosity Pledge campaign, asking people to give to our church financially so that we can support our essential functioning and core programming. We've also explored how being generous, how giving transforms who we are and does so for the better. And we've looked at giving beyond just money, but also giving of our time, our talents, and our very selves. Generosity is not an action, it's a way of being. Generosity is not an action, it's a way of being. Now, in this society, which revolves around capitalism and the desire for material wealth, we think of generosity as giving something of value. Yet, instead, for those of us who follow a spiritual pathway, generosity instead is about a state of being, a mindset. Now let's pause for just a moment and think about how we see ourselves as generous beings. And let's not focus so much on our actions, even though we know our actions do represent who we are. But let's think more about the state of our heart and of our soul. What does a generous heart, a generous soul look like? Heart and mind and actions should be integrated. They should all be on the same page. So today we are talking about a fully embodied, fully integrated generosity. Now, it's not easy to state what a fully embodied generosity is. To start to understand this a little deeper level, I think we need to use something akin to apophatic theology. Now, y'all know that phrase, don't you? Right, okay. So, not many people do, but the word apophasis is a Hellenistic Greek word which translates the negative way. Apophasis is the negative way. So, apophatic theology is the practice of describing the divine by stating what the divine is not. Okay. An example might be, God is not hate, right? Sometimes it's just easier for us to describe something by saying what we know it is not than stating what it is. It's like trying to describe love. Love is not jealous or hateful or divisive or closed-minded. We might have a challenge trying to state what love is beyond just some kind of feeling, and we all have lots of feelings, right? But it can really help us at times to think about what something is not. So back to fully embodied generosity. It's oftentimes not easy to state what that is beyond some actions or examples here and there. So I'm going to use apophatic theology and state one thing that I very clearly know generosity is not. And I want to use this one example today because so often people think this is what generosity is. It is not fully embodied sacrifice. Now we know that true generosity does include some elements of sacrifice, some actions of sacrifice, that people will undertake these out of a generous spirit. And we've talked about some of those things during this month as we've looked at generosity. There are some elements of that. But fully embodied generosity is not sacrificing our very being, our very essence. For example, it is not a woman's primary function to be a breeder so that our capitalist society can have more workers, no matter what any person in new leadership in D.C. might say. It is not sacrificing our children so that politicians will continue to get money from the gun lobby. It is not destroying the health of our planet, and thus the health of all of us on this planet, for corporate greed or ease. A capitalist society gives the message that sacrifice is generosity. Even if I want you to pay attention as you go through the next few weeks, how many times people who are in power will talk about the word sacrifice and what that means and who they think needs to be doing the sacrifice. Who needs to make the sacrifices for the company? A capitalist society gives the message that sacrifice is generosity. It tells us that some people have to make more sacrifices than others. In fact, some people, their lives only have value in the sacrifice they offer. Now, when I use the word sacrifice in today's message, I'm not saying we should never make any kind of sacrifices, okay? And I'm just gave you another example of apathetic thinking, by the way. But what I am saying is this. Full generosity is not sacrificing the core essence of who we are. It is not being so diminished that there is no value to who we are. Let's think about the old stereotype, which is not such an old stereotype to some people in today's world, about what a woman's role truly is. A woman is supposed to be a devoted wife, mother, daughter, sister, a helpmeet and support for all around her. Anything that she is only in relation to the sacrifice that she makes for others. this old stereotype is that a woman's value is only in how she sacrifices for others, as opposed to the core of the beautiful being who she is. Now, that's not a life of full generosity, because true generosity comes from the deep core of who we are. It comes from that inner wisdom and purpose in the world, that divine light that each and every one of us carries. We cannot live a fully embodied generosity if our entire being is only sacrifice for others, if we only have meaning in relationship to others. So for us to truly embody generosity, we need to support and develop our core being. We need to know who we truly are at the foundation, who we are called to be in this world. Now, this doesn't mean that we have all the answers. The spiritual journey is a lifelong path. We never reach a full end destination during this lifetime. But having some idea of who we are and that divine essence of who we are. So from this foundation, this deep inner knowing, where we most certainly do not sacrifice so that we don't even know who we are, our innermost selves, is from the strong foundation. That's the way that we can offer the gift of full generosity. Generosity of spirit is an orientation, a life way, a way that we walk in this world. Author Jean Houston wrote, "The more you love, the more loving you become. That's just the way it works." It's a generosity of spirit. And we talk about loving ourselves first. Can't truly love someone else. I mean, so many of y'all have heard this, right? This whole platitude. We can't really love someone else if we don't love ourselves first, right? We can't be truly generous if we don't have that love towards ourselves that helps us embody a generosity of spirit. Fully embodied generosity, loving ourselves, loving others, loving all of creation. May it be so.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope. For now, we are the keepers of the dream. This month, we are sharing our offering plate with the Carrabba's Pet Society. The Carrabba's Pet Society is a nonprofit animal rescue organization that has been working since 2002 to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome abandoned, abused, and sick, neglected pets through their foster home system. They also educate the community on issues related to responsible pet ownership. We ask that you place your gift in the baskets as they make their way around the room. You are always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received.
We give thanks for your wonderful, generous spirits and for the ways that you support the work of this church and the important work that is taking place in our world and our community. I invite you now to please stand as you are willing and you're able for our closing hymn, number 123, found in our great hymnal, Spirit of Life, and we will sing it through twice.
Oh,
Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who help make our service possible. We also ask before you leave today if you can take your hymnals and place them on the cart near the piano. That will be a big help. And as a reminder, of course, too, we do have our service project just after our coffee fellowship. And Becky, I don't know if you have anything to say that you want to add, or just to people show up and come help sort clothes?
I have a whole minivan full of stuff, so if you're able to stay even for a little bit, that would be so appreciated, and I can explain everything after the service.
Yes, and it's very easy to do. I know the first time I did it, I thought, I hope I can do this right. And I thought, oh, yeah, okay. Well, I can do this right. I can do it right. Everyone do it right. But yeah, if you just have a few moments, we certainly hope that you can stay and help for that, too. It's such a important work we can do. So let us now end as we do towards the end of each service with taking time to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words, for the things for which we are grateful today.
Bright colors.
Bright colors.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Generous giving.
Generous giving.
Loving spirits.
Loving spirits.
Being nice to everyone.
Giving thanks for everyone.
No, being nice to everyone.
Being nice to everyone. Yes, Claire. Thank you.
Carl's birthday.
Carl's birthday, which we're going to do something, we're going to acknowledge that in just a moment, Carl, so you just prepare yourself. So. Halloween, yeah.
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather, yes.
Good friends
Good friends
and visitors.
and visitors. We give thanks for all of these things. And as Karen's let us know already, it is Carl's birthday, and I thought we I don't know if Carl can get embarrassed, actually. I've known you a little over a year now, but I thought we could sing happy birthday to you. So, all right, and Cassette's a much better singer than I am, so I didn't let you know this.
We all know it.
Carl, we didn't ask you how old you are, okay? Maybe Myrna can tell us later, but yeah. So, Carl, we're grateful for all your friends, and we're grateful for you. So, all right, receive now this closing blessing. Let us go forth, knowing that to be generous is not a sacrifice, but a gift. And let us share this gift with others. Blessed be. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we wander. May it be so. Now for our closing hymn, we traditionally form a circle, and you may hold hands if you would like to. If you'd rather just stand in the circle as we are singing and not hold hands, just place a hand on your heart.
Very good.